Thank you for tuning in. Dividend Dashboard here, and finally the month of April is over. In this video, we will be going through the companies I bought, dividends received, dividend years over year for April, portfolio update, and last but not least, a quick update on the growth of this channel. I do these updates on a monthly basis, so if you want to follow a real person investing real money, consider subscribing to this channel. Also, all comments are welcome, so feel free to drop any questions or doubts that you have. In April, I bought tranches of 4 companies: Starbucks 0.83 shares, J&J 0.65 shares, Nike 1.09 shares, and MasterCard 0.58 shares. Starbucks had a disastrous earnings. J&J is settling a lawsuit which will reduce their cash flow. Nike had a slight pullback in their free cash flow and inventory issues, sending the stock down. And MasterCard had a business as usual earning, but on the lower end. I did average down in all mentioned stocks. This month, 9 companies pay me a dividend. Coca-Cola $1.56, ADP $1.44, Pepsi $6.33, Nike 85 cents, Kimberly-Clark $5, Stag Industrial $1.50, Realty Income $5.63, and Chase $6.84, for a total amount of $29.15 in dividend paid for April. April is one of the lowest paying months in my dividend investing journey. Despite having a decent year-over-year growth, it lags behind other months. Going all the way back to 2020, I received 90 cents in dividends. Throughout the years, it compounded decently. 90 cents to $4.89, then $7.02, $10.61, and this year $29.15. Moving on to the portfolio update, we have a portfolio value of $20,174.09 with $36 in buying power. The portfolio consists of 23 companies with a dividend yield of 2.97%. The way I calculate the yield is using the weighted dividend yield formula. It's a formula that is based on the weight of the position in your portfolio. This dividend yield translates to $539.77 in projected annual dividends. The performance of the portfolio has been flat so far this year. Certain companies are dropping in capital gains, which I will go through some of them soon, but it makes the portfolio look like it's stagnated. That is not the case. The portfolio projected annual dividend continues to increase month over month and year over year. While this happens, I continue to average down in my positions while continuing to increase the dividend. I know some people dislike this type of poorly performing portfolios, but we have to keep in mind that the purpose of this public portfolio is to use the dividend to cover my expenses in the future. I do have another portfolio that's fully invested in the S&P, so I feel covered in growth and income. Looking at my 23 holdings, since the beginning of the year, I said I was focusing on higher quality and growth businesses. I have bought a ton of Visa and MasterCard and will continue to do so. I want both companies to be a core part of this portfolio in a sizable amount. I am currently aiming for an 8 to 10% allocation individually for both companies. Hershey still remains the largest holding month after month since I bought the dip heavily and the stock price recovered, therefore increasing the allocation. Overall, I do believe it's a nice defensive diversified portfolio with a hint of growth without sacrificing income. Now you're seeing the annual dividend per holding. Realty Income and Hershey's are the ones standing out with around $70 in yearly dividends. Other companies are not behind though. Several positions are in the 30s mark. You will see how over time positions like Visa and MasterCard will have a high dividend amount, and it is not because I'm constantly buying them, but also due to the high dividend hikes that they produce every year. Overall, I'm pleased with the numbers I'm seeing. Looking at the total return, we have a bit of everything. Companies all the way in the green, companies all the way in the red. Let's focus on the red. Realty Income. Interest rates remain high. This puts pressure on REITs and their outstanding debt. Combined with the recent acquisition Realty made, it puts additional downward pressure short term. Clorox. The company is still recovering from the cyber attack, therefore announcing a slow growth guidance for the rest of the year. Starbucks. Despite being in a caffeine bubble, meaning that there's a lot of companies selling products with caffeine, Starbucks reported a disastrous earnings at the end of April. Missed every Wall Street estimate, and the CEO is so optimistic that it feels like he is ignoring the issue. We'll be watching this one closely, but won't remain on the sidelines. J&J settled a lawsuit that reduces future cash flow. This makes the stock goes down. Nike inventory issues are still lingering around. Hershey's. Cocoa prices are still elevated. This reduces the profit margins of the company. Recently, the cocoa prices went down, but not enough for Hershey's to attack the issue with the pricing. MasterCard, as mentioned, business as usual earnings report, only that it was on the lower end, making investors have an unnecessary bearish sentiment and selling the stock. All of the companies mentioned are down between 1 to 12%. MasterCard and Starbucks are the one that interests me the most. Starbucks could be a super discounted buy, and MasterCard is a high-grade company that is giving a slight opportunity to average down. Now, to close this video, I want to give a quick YouTube update. At the start of the last 90 days, the channel was a bit stagnant in growing subscribers. Then, out of the sudden, it looks like my videos are hitting the correct audience, and people started subscribing to my channel, putting me closer to my 1.2k subscriber goal. All I want to say is thank you. Thank you to those who subscribe and those who have been following me for a while. I am grateful for those who take time to see my investing journey unfold and at the same time seeing the perspective of a small investor. Hopefully this channel continues to grow, but regardless of the subscriber amount, the goal is still the same. To show my investing journey in full transparency, my buys, my sells, everything. So thanks for watching, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next one.